A tragic accident can not only change the person who suffers through it, but it can also affect family and loved ones.
And one Washington man discovered that firsthand when he fell through a roof and broke his back nearly 6 years ago. His road to recovery was slow, but through it all he found life doesn't have to stop. It just has to change.
KXY4's Aaron Luna shows us how a scheming wife, a gentle horse, and a strong will is more than a substitute for working legs.
And it's amazing what people can do when they set their minds to it, but oftentimes getting past the starting line can be the hardest task. It's a view only a horse owner could enjoy. But for Dennis Weitman, the trail that leads to this spot behind this horse didn't start in a corral.
I was a long-haul trucker from Spokane to LA before.
It started on a neighbor's roof.
Lit on this shoulder and broke my back and broke my nose, and that was the end of it.
That fall left Dennis paralyzed from the waist down.
The first worry I had was, how do I support my family?
The cornerstone of the family had just cracked. But would it break?
Laying on my dad just bawling. Like, I was crying for hours, I think. So I'm like, no, it can't be my dad. Like, he still has to, he has to go out on the truck next weekend. I'm like, he has stuff he has to go do.
Stuff he might never do again.
Had no idea which way he could go, whether he'd have a positive attitude or just shut down and, not want to deal with life. And
while Dennis recovered in the hospital, his wife, Michelle, broke out the heavy equipment.
For me, it was about making everything easy for him, so he had no reason to, feel overwhelmed or that he couldn't do stuff. So
the house needed a makeover. Friends, family, and the KXLY4 Extreme team answered the call.
I've been so focused on making everything accessible so that he has no restrictions.
But there was something else Michelle wanted Dennis to do. Get back on the horse, so to speak.
I Googled, some stuff, kind of got some ideas what others had done, but didn't like any of them. I wanted it to look as close to a real cart as possible.
Dennis couldn't ride his horse Kino anymore.
Oh, we love that.
But Kino could more than pull him. The two just needed a custom cart.
I wanted him to be just as able of driving that cart as anybody.
4 years after the accident, Michelle started making the cart. Most of the work she did by hand. It was under the tree by that Christmas.
To pull it off without him having any clue what I was up to, it was fun.
Last year, the pair entered their first competition.
Everybody's kind of looking at the cart going, well, that's kind of strange. And then Michelle pops the back down and up we go and in it. And they go, oh, wow, check that out. So it's fun.
An old seatbelt pulled from a Pontiac keeps the chair secure. And while it may look easy, it takes a fine hand and cool nerves to get around the ring smoothly.
You got to earn a horse's trust. And that's the whole point. And once you do that, then you're buds, and it's fun.
Fun, just like old times.
Like in the beginning, I was kind of nervous, but I was crying because I was so happy that he could be back out there.
I knew he was really strong, so I knew he'd be able to pull through and still was going to try and do the same things he did before, just like he's doing.
Dennis does pretty much everything he used to do before the accident.
Fun.
Just a little different.
Don't ever give up. That's the key. Once you give up, you're done.
And the Weitman family will tell you a few things they've known all along. A family isn't built on only one stone.
And I guess that happens in situations like that, where the spouse can't deal with it and they take off. But she's a rock.
Don't be afraid to draw plan A.
Go for plan B if you have to, because you're not going to get everything in life you want. You might get more, it might be a different path.
Attitudes don't change when you're sitting down.
He's a very feisty old man in a wheelchair. He runs my feet over.
Animals are oftentimes more than just pets.
And the horses are part of our family. That's always been.
And watching a horse's hindquarters trot around a track
Last year, he won his class and I was crying.
is better than watching from the sidelines.
You just keep going. You just don't stop. Move it forward.
For KXLY4 HD News, I'm Aaron Luna. Dennis and Michelle say they are planning to get another horse so Michelle can start competing in shows. Looks like we might be seeing another custom cart in the future and possibly maybe an episode of Family Feud.
Very good. You think she's going to have to build this new cart too?
I don't think she'll have to customize it just as much as she did the last one. That was a pretty intense job, it looks like, having everything fold down just like that. But she's a pretty feisty woman, so we'll see what she does with hers.
You
Nice.
bet.
What a great story of perseverance. Thanks, Aaron. Stay with us. We'll be right back.